Debit card versus credit card. Do you know what a debit card is? What about a credit card? If you do you know the difference between a debit and a credit? Sometimes a debit and a credit get kind of confusing to people, especially to those who are just starting to use them or are setting up their first banking account. Both debit and credit cards are accepted as payment almost everywhere. Debit and credit cards are used almost every day by people. That's because they are so convenient. A swipe here and there and you are set. Even though a debit and a credit card may look the same, they are actually very different. The main difference that you need to remember is where the money comes from. A debit card uses the money from your banking account, while a credit card charges the money you're paying to your credit line. Still confused? Well, don't worry. I'll explain it further. Welcome to Savvy, where we have lots of practical wisdom to share. Hey, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more advice here on Savvy. Today, we'll learn the difference between a debit card versus a credit card. What is a debit card? A debit card is just as convenient as a credit card. They look the same too. Debit cards get money from your checking account. How is this done? First, they place a hold on whatever the amount is of what you are buying. After that, the merchant sends the transaction to the bank so that the bank can transfer the amount to the merchant. It may take a few days for the whole process to take place. Don't forget that it is important to always maintain a balance in your checking account so that you don't overdraw your account. Overdrawing your account simply means you are purchasing something with your debit card when you don't have enough money in your checking account to purchase that. If this happens, then the bank will reject the transaction and you won't be able to purchase it. When you have a debit card, you also have a personal identification number or PIN for short. This is what you use at stores or ATMs. But in other merchants, putting your PIN in to use your debit card is not needed and they'll ask you to sign the receipt instead. With a debit card, you won't pay interest on your purchases and your credit history will not be affected when you use your debit card. It's important that you know that paying with debit will take the money from your checking account immediately. What is a credit card? When you use a credit card, you borrow money against a line of credit. What's a line of credit, you wonder? It's also called a credit card limit. You use the credit card for your payments, which then is recorded in a bill. The bank pays the merchant, and after that, you receive your credit card bill. Then you will pay the bank. In using a credit card for your transactions, you will be charged interest if you carry a balance from month to month. Credit cards also have high interest rates if you compare them to loans, and the use of your credit card, the balance of your credit card, and the history of payment of the balances do affect your credit score. If you pay your bills on time, then you can avoid interest and late fees. It's also important to maintain and raise your credit score. In opening up a banking account to get a credit card, it is the bank who will decide what your credit limit is based on your credit history. Do you have a debit or credit card, or both? What works better for you? Let us know in the comments below. Debit cards versus credit cards. If you find yourself always doing retail therapy, then a debit card might be better for you. It's easier to not overspend when you use a debit card, since the amount of money you can use is only the amount of money you have in your checking account. On the other hand, with a credit card, you might overspend because, let's say for example, your credit limit is $5,000. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can afford to spend that much money on a monthly basis. Both are just as convenient. There are also credit cards that offer additional insurance on transactions, so it's easier to return it and get a refund. Credit cards are also beneficial when in times of emergency, giving you time to save money for you to pay off your card. It could be kind of like a safety net, but again, credit cards are more complex and need more responsibility when using them. Choosing the best card for this situation. Are you thinking of getting a debit card or a credit card? What do you think is the best fit for you? You should know your spending habits and see if you are responsible enough to have either, especially your credit card, because no one wants credit card debt. In choosing the best card to use, you also need to consider what you're purchasing. Are they big or small purchases? Using a credit card might also be a better option if you want to take the advantage of credit card reward programs. But this system only works in your favor if you pay off the balance in full each month. If you want to benefit from credit card reward programs, using a credit card can be a better choice. But this only benefits you if you settle the balance of your credit card bills in full each month. Be wise with money. Take some time to learn more about debit cards and credit cards to be more financially literate. That is enough practical wisdom for today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up below. We will be posting 4 to 5 videos per week. So click the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of our new videos weekly. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video.